the children that were brought forth, we must learn to appreciate our mothers. They are wonderful. Let's read Exodus chapter 2, 1 to 10 quickly. It says, and a man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi. You read too.
So the woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw that he was a beautiful child, she gave him 3 months.
But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, dug it with asphalt and pitch, put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank.
And his sisters started to know what would be done to him.
Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bath at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it.
And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, this is what the Hebrews do.
Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you?
And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. So the maid went and called the child's mother.
Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him.
And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, saying, because I drew him out of the water.
Amen. I think that's the story, and we all know that story of Moses and how he had a child, and at that time that he had this child, they were killing all children. They were not allowed to live at that time. And one thing that bothers me is at that time, I look at the story where they say that she was able to hide the child for 3 months. That is a risk that any woman would take. That is to tell you how selfless mothers can be. That is to tell you how compassionate mothers can be. To the fact that you could hide your baby to defile the law of the king at that time. And only God knows what could have happened if she had been caught with a child that is a baby that was not allowed to live at that time, but she is able to leave that child and keep the child secret until she could hide him no more. And then she had to do all that she needed to do. That is to tell you, a mother can go that far. And when it comes to taking risk, when it comes to being selfless, when it comes to being compassionate, being loving, being kind in every situation, mothers are willing to give of themselves and be able to make sacrifice that they go without, just to make sure that their child have everything that they need. The sacrifices that mothers, I'm not saying fathers don't do the same. The sacrifices that mothers can do at this time, especially when you are not sure, even that the job, when you step into the role of being a mother, especially for the first time, you never know whether you are doing this job right. You never know how your children will turn out, because you have never done it before. Each woman is doing this job fresh. No matter the experience you think you've gathered from your parents, it's not enough to make you bring up a child if you can copy and paste the same thing, and the children will still go separate ways. Even though your parents, you maybe you were raised from a godly home, you did everything, and you're doing similar thing that your parents did in order to raise you up to be who you have become. And you copy and paste the same thing to raise your own children, they can still go off. Why? Because no one can tell you how best to raise this child. And the only one who can help you is God. He is the one that ensures that you do the right thing. No matter how you think this mother is not doing a good job at all. Even mothers at this time are criticizing themselves. When the child has gone astray, they believe that it's their fault. I want to say to all mothers, it's never your fault. It's just everyone have a mind of their own. Even your children have their own mind. They can grow up just the way we all accepted Jesus as Lord. It's by ourselves. No one forced us. We decided we are accepting Jesus as Lord. Our sons and our daughters, if care is not taken, can walk on their own and decide that despite the fact that you brought them up in the house of the Lord, they can walk. And that's why we read the story of the prodigal son, who decided, you know what, I've had enough of this, give me my own share, I'm walking. But the good news about that is that child came back. And I have seen mothers who have prayed their children who had walked away, they come back to the Lord. And you can never blame yourself as the one who did wrong. That's why they walked away. You can never blame yourself and say, maybe I didn't speak to them the right way. Maybe I didn't pray enough. Maybe we should have been praying 5 times a day, but we were praying once. Maybe we should have been doing this or doing that. A lot of people are going with that guilt. Mothers they are saying, I didn't do this job well. Who told you how to do it? You did the best that you could. And today I want you to understand, if you're a mother that the child has done things contrary to how you raised them up, you do not need to feel guilty. You are a unique mother in your own way, as long as you did all that was in your power to do. As long as you followed God's path and God's pattern, and you did all that was required. If they walk away, the only thing that you owe them is prayer. That is what I can say you need to do if you haven't been doing it. You need to pray for your sons and your daughters and ensure that they follow the path that God has laid for them. You are a mother that is unique. You do not need to feel guilty and feel bad that I didn't do it right. Sometimes the children need to learn some truths. Sometimes they need to go and make mistake, just like the prodigal son, and come back and say, you know what, you were right. And it's always because God has a plan and a purpose for every child. And if you are a son and a daughter of God, if you are a mother in this place, I need you to understand that God has a plan for your child, regardless of whether they walk away from the faith or stay. If they walk away from the faith, God has a plan for them. As long as you don't give up on them. All that is required is be the loving mother that God has called you to be. Because there's compassion on the inside of you. And that compassion should drive you to pray for your sons and your daughters day and night. That love that the Father has deposited on the inside of you as a mother should encourage you to keep pushing no matter what you see. Instead of condemning yourself and saying, I should have done this way or that way. Tell yourself, Lord, I hand over this one to you. That's the job that you have. That's the job of a mother. So I'm here to remind you, you are still unique. Because it's never an easy job. My children, when they were growing up, you dress them up for school and get them ready. They are all set and everything is set. Take your lunch bag. Let me just get the khaki and all of that. And you say, let's go. You take the other bag and they go. And when you get to the school, after dropping them, where's your lunch box? Not there. Oh my God. And you have to go to work. You have to do all of these things. And you're so angry, you don't know what to do to that child at that point in time. Like, how could you forget your lunch box? You're meant to have taken it. No, they just do all sorts. And you find yourself, you're constantly racing against time. Here they have football, here they have this, here they have that, there. Mothers are constantly running, whether it's swimming lessons, whatever it is. You are always on the go. And in all of that, you still have to make sure there's food on the table. And you still have to take care of yourself. And most of the time, mothers become selfless. They don't have time to look after themselves. They don't have time to care. The only time you have a breather is when they're grown and they are off the nest. And you're like, yes, my money becomes my money. It's no longer our money. It's now my money. Until then, your money is never yours. And you are afraid to spend it because you don't know who is coming to ask for it. So you keep it as if you are the bank that makes sure that money is available when they need it. So you keep it, you are waiting. They will come and say, hi mom, my money is finished. I'm in uni. Money is finished. I need some money. You have to send it. Whether you have, you don't have. However you get it, no one is asking you, do you have money before they ask you to send? They just say, I need some money, and then you are expected to send it. However that looks like. And that is the sacrifice and the selfless way that mothers can live. If there is food in the house and it's a small portion, I'm sure you already know that. Maybe your mom just put it down. She was about to eat and you came and said, oh, I'm hungry, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, okay, you take this. And they live without. So you can have. And that happens all the time. If anything is missing in the house, you are the one to look for it and find it out and bring it. Because they can't remember where it is. But you are expected to have eye at the back, in front, and everywhere. So that you ensure that everything they keep, wherever it is, you know when they are looking for it. And if they don't find it, they will be a bit upset. Like, how come? I need that. As if you hid it and they couldn't find it. It's now your fault. When we look at all of these sacrifices that mothers make, you understand that you need to cherish your mother. You need to appreciate your mother. The things they do that you don't even see, you don't notice. Behind the scene, praying for you. And the interesting part is when they are even grown up and they go out and they don't come on time. My goodness. All the things that will be running around your head thinking something has happened, even though nothing has happened. It's just the way mothers are wired. You're constantly thinking, where are they now? Is everything okay? Are they safe? Are they secure? And all of that. You worry, even the worry, you can't pay for that. They worry to the point that you don't know what else to do. Until that child walks back in, your heart is beating and you're constantly thinking, what's going on here? But when we are young, we don't think about that. When we go out, we just go out. And when our parents call us, we are upset. Like, why are you calling me? Am I a baby? Why do you want to monitor me? Why do you want to know where I am at any point in time? It is the love that they have for you that make them to go after you, checking you every minute. Not because they want to monitor you, but because they want to make sure that you are safe. When you understand that as a child, you, out of appreciation, you will quickly do what you need to do to put their mind at rest. Because your time will come. And you will do just that. No matter how you have planned that you will never do what your mom is doing. If you are a woman, you will do it. There is no way you can change that aspect. It's just in our nature to do these things, to worry, to panic, to just think about all of these things. When we read this story that we've just read, we saw what Moses' mother had to do in order to make sure that this child is secure and is not killed along with all the children that they are killing at that time. the risk and the sacrifice that you have to do. I just pray that you and I will come to that place where we understand that when we love our mother, it is not a waste. When we care for our mothers, it is not a waste. It is something that you must understand that, yes, they might behave like they are Martha. You know the story of Mary and Martha, where they are constantly, Martha is the one that is busy doing everything. And as she's saying to Mary, you need to join me in this. I think if you read that in Luke chapter 10, I think. You see, our mothers are similar to that matter. Always doing things and always being busy. But regardless of that, they wash, they clean, they are the cleaner, they are the cook, they are the one that takes care, they nurture, they do all these things. But in all of that, we still see them as they are doing too much. But I need you to know, mothers, you're unique. You're doing a great job. You're doing an amazing job. And only God can reward you for the things that you do as a mother. Whether you're working tirelessly. Most mothers are working. They are also homemakers. They also take care of other things. Some are business owners. Some have all sorts of things. They have different things that they run in their life. So they are constantly wearing different hats. Today they are wearing the hat of a mother. The other minute they are a business woman. And the other minute they are a boss in the workplace. But in all of that, they have to juggle all of that. They have to do it. It's just the way life goes. In this day and age, it's getting better where the men, at least when two of you come back from work, you can at least say, okay, maybe the guy is being nice, he can cook, you know. But you both were in the office, and you both worked, and you both came home, yet it is the woman that is being turned towards for dinner.
Oh.
It's the woman that will always be turned towards for dinner. But sometimes you are blessed to have someone who understands and who is able to help you. But if they don't, you must get on with the job. If they don't, you have to get on with the job. Because naturally, it is just expected that the mothers provide. I think that's how God created us. We just provide. That's who we are. If we are blessed to have someone who assists, then we must thank God for that. I need you to understand that regardless of what is going on, remember that you're doing an amazing job. And God is watching. And God is the one that is in control. I was reading the story, I think it was in the story where the two women that had a child, each of them had children. They had a child here, and they both slept. And one of them slept on their child. And when she woke up the next morning, the child was dead. She went and carried the child of the other woman, and then decided that that's the child now. And they had argument over who owns this child. And as they begin to argue, King Solomon, who the Bible says is the wisest of all, asked them, okay, since you, I don't know, because it's two of them in the house. No man was there, nobody was there, and they are the one that has to tell the story. This one says it's my child, the other one says it's my child. How will Solomon know that it's this child? So it said, okay, no problem, let's just bring this child. Bring a sword, let's divide this, the child that is alive, let's give a portion to each of you so that you both can go with half the child. And it was interesting that the mother's nature kicked in straight away. And the mother, the one whose child was alive, the Bible says that she quickly said, don't bother to divide this child. Give to the one that is not the mother. Just give her. Let her nurture this child. What does that tell you? the compassion that a mother has cannot be compared. She would rather her enemy raise this child, and this child is alive, than be killed alone. Or say, you know what? You raise this child. When the child grows, it's still our child. It's better that way than for the child to be dead. The compassion that mothers have, it shows the uniqueness of mothers in every aspect. We may not know it, but trust me, when you get there, you will know. And when you get there, you will value your mother. When you get there, you will appreciate your mother. You will cherish the mother. And when they are gone, you will miss them. So do everything that you can to show your mother love, affection, and compassion. I do not believe in the one-day thing that we are doing now. You know what I mean? We celebrate mothers once. There are some people who all they do is once a year they celebrate their mom. The other days in their life they don't care. One day they celebrate her. That is not the way it should be. Every day should be Mother's Day.
Yep.
Every day should be Mother's Day. This is my opinion anyway. Because the job of a mother never stops. They say, okay, today I'm off because it's Mother's Day. Even at that, they're still cooking and cleaning. They will still cook to celebrate the Mother's Day that is them that is being celebrated. They will still have to do all the things that needs to be done. They are constantly busy doing the things only them can do. And I pray that the Holy Spirit will help us. We put in our hearts a passion to know that mothers are unique. And just like Moses' mother did, and make sure that the child is not killed. It's like, let Pharaoh's daughter take this child also. And at the end, whether the son, if Moses is called Pharaoh's daughter's son, it doesn't matter. But we all know the mother of the child. I just pray that the Lord will help us. Today I want us to actually pray for mothers. You know, especially, single mothers, the things that they do, the ones that two people are meant to do, they have to do by themselves. Because it's either through divorce, separation, or death. Because if I remember, like my mom, when my father passed, she had to single-handedly raise us by herself, without the husband. And that tends to happen a lot, that these women labor to the point that everything that two people will share, they constantly have to do all by themselves. And we should pray for them as well. What about those who have no children of their own? And they are constantly being the mother of all other children. And they pour into them in a way that we can't imagine. All of this. They do it selflessly. They don't have their own children, but they are nurturing others and making sure. And you find that people who, even when they don't have their own, they adopt children, they make sure they take care of them. And they pour that love upon those children, regardless of whether they've had children or not. It can only be God that can give that compassionate heart for anyone to do things like that. So today I want us to actually pray. I want us to pray for mothers. Because really and truly, there is nothing else we can give them. Silver, gold, whatever we give cannot pay for the sleepless night that they had to go through to nurture you until you were off the nest. There's no way we can pay that price. So I'm going to ask that whether they are our mothers, our mother-in-laws, or grandmom, auntie, sister, stepmom, spiritual mom, mother-in-laws, future mom, those moms that are adopted, single moms, I want us to pray for them. If you will rise up and we will pray for them. I want us to pray. You know, the burdens that mothers carry, I need us to pray for them and say it can't be overwhelming. Just pray that God will help them to carry this load, I'll call it overwhelming burden that they have to carry, and do it with grace. Let's pray over them that each one of them, none of them will feel that they are condemned, none of them will feel that they are criticized, none of them will feel that they are not doing a good job, but rather pray for them that they will have the peace of God that passeth all understanding, that it will envelop them in this time, in this season, that they will learn to just trust God, that God will give them the wisdom that is required to nurture their children in the fear of the Lord. I need you to pray for all the mothers in the house. Pray for those out there. Pray for your mother. If you have any stepmom, whatever, any way that anyone plays a role as a mother in your life, you need to pray for them and ask that the Lord Almighty will strengthen them, will pour out His love upon them, that as they sacrifice